Hello and welcome to another Let's Play with Retro Phoenix 80. This time we are going to be covering the Shivah, the first in the line of Blackwell series adventure games made by Wadjeteye Games. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything, but I just absolutely love this series. It pretty much just drew me in like a really beloved book series, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, let me begin by saying thank you all for watching. Um, and we begin with the Shiva. The night sky above Manhattan will never win any awards. The few stars visible look lonely and desperate. I could relate. Sometimes the line between salvation and damnation is a mighty fine one. I no longer knew which side I stood on. There are those who would say that I had no business being here. They might be right. I'm no longer sure what I'm doing, but I'm fairly sure I know who I am. Let me see if I can turn down the music just a little bit. Alright. Like I said, this is like the prequel to the Blackwell series. And the events in this will actually lead up to what's going to be happening in further episodes, or further games in the series. They all exist within the same universe. It began, as many things do, with a song.
Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra lied nasa v'cheltso kol atzai melech shemo nikra.
His final note faded off into the near-empty synagogue, unheard by anyone. As I had hundreds of times before this, I got ready to speak. And as I had hundreds of times before this, I began to wonder why.
Thank you, Cantor Kaplan. Today in my sermon, I'd like to discuss suffering. Why do bad things happen to good people? Wherever there is pain, or oppression, or poverty, the question is always the same. How could God let this happen? Is God as good as we think? Can He, in fact, do evil? Maybe, on occasion, He even enjoys inflicting pain. I
took a good, hard look around my world.
And
then it hit me.
No. I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Rabbi?
You heard.
Huh? What?
Go home, Mrs. Raymer.
Is it over already?
Yeah.
Rabbi Stone, wait! You can't just stop.
Sure I can. Just watch me.
But
It's over, Josh.
you can't mean that.
Look, you're a good kid. You've got a good voice and a good future. Don't let me hold you back. Now do a mitzvah and call Mrs. Raymer a cab. Goodbye, Josh.
Ethical dilemmas have plagued religious leaders since the dawn of time. But morals don't mean crap without the personal experiences to back them up.
Leave me alone. Services are canceled. Go away. Leave me alone, I said.
So we're gonna have to answer the door at some point.
Fine, I'm coming. I thought I told you to go home.
Rabbi Stone, there's someone here.
Tell him to get lost. There's no service tonight.
No, it's a cop.
Huh?
Detective Sam Durkin, Midtown South Precinct. Could I talk to you for a few minutes, Rabbi Stone?
Is there some sort of problem, officer?
I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
Fine. Josh, take a hike. So, what can I do for you? I assume you're not here to convert.
Are you familiar with a Mr. Jack Lauder?
Should I be?
I'm asking the questions, Rabbi.
Fine. Let me think. Lauder. Oh.
You know him.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about him?
He used to belong to this congregation.
Used to, but not anymore?
No. Left about 8 years ago, I think. What's this about?
Have you had any contact with him since?
No, I haven't. Care to fill me in here?
Do you read the papers?
Not recently.
So, you're not aware, Rabbi Stone, that Jack Lauder has been dead for 3 days?
I did my best to control myself. I knew this man's type. His eyes scanned my face like a barcode reader, trying to read every telltale sign of emotion. Any flicker, any twitch could be used against me later.
No.
Does that bother you?
Should it?
Answer me, Stone.
No.
So, you and Mr. Lauder weren't close?
No, we weren't. What's the deal, Durkin?
I've seen Lauder's will. He left you a significant amount of money.
He left me money? Is this a joke? Are you joking with me, detective?
No, I'm not joking.
How much?
I don't have the exact amount, but somewhere in excess of 10,000.
Bull.
It's the truth.
Jack wouldn't give me bubkiss, let alone $10,000.
And why is that, Rabbi Stone?
He just wouldn't.
Huh. This temple's in pretty sad shape, isn't it, Rabbi?
Well, you're not blind, that's for sure.
Can you afford the repairs?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Detective Durkin. And if that's all, I suggest you leave.
Rabbi Stone, you didn't answer my question.
Life's full of disappointments. You'll get over it.
Rabbi Stone,
Get out of my office.
listen.
No, you listen. I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, you're a real mensch. Get out of here.
Fine. I'll leave, Rabbi Stone. But I'll be back.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Remember this character, Detective Durkin.
Putz.
The rain beat in irregular staccato rhythm against the window, but I can only hear one thing. Jack Lauder. Jack Lauder. The name pulled out a cork in my brain, letting loose old thoughts and memories that fought and struggled for supremacy. Jack Lauder, it was more than just a name. It was a link to a time when things were simpler. A time when I thought I had it all figured out. A time when morals and ethics meant something. A time before it all turned to crap.
I need to think.
was nothing up there that I wanted to see. I'd come across this quote some years ago and had decided to have it printed and mounted on the wall. Read if statistics are right, the Jews constitute but 1% of the human race. It suggests a nebulous, dim puff of stardust lost in the blaze of the Milky Way. Properly, the Jew ought hardly to be heard of, but he is heard of, and always has been heard of. Mark Twain, 1899. My certificate of rabbinical studies. It reads to certify that Russell Elijah Stone has been granted the title of rabbi by B'nai B'rith Yeshiva on the date of June 23rd, 1970. I am sorry if I am butchering these names. My diploma from...
Has it really been 30 years?
Henry Kleinman. Nothing on the bookshelf that I wanted to read. Okay. Good point. Alright, let's go ahead and use the computer to find out what we can... Claimed I needed to join the 21st century and connect with the community. Josh has been bugging me to start using it. I suppose now was a good time as any. If only I could remember what Josh chose as my login password. That is a very good question. We cannot log in without that information. Well, part of a kiddish one. I don't think it was appropriate. Maybe we can catch Josh before he leaves.
Wow, Rabbi, what was that all about?
The detective had some questions for me. That's all.
So who was killed?
Josh, what did I tell you about listening at my door?
I wasn't, Rabbi, honest. You were just... very loud.
Huh.
So who was killed? Was it that Lauder guy?
Huh. We must have talked very loud.
Well, yeah. So who is he?
An old member of this congregation.
Ah, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, it happens to the best of us.
Are you gonna pay a Shivah call?
I don't think there will be a Shivah, Josh.
Why?
Shivas are for Jewish families. Just forget it.
Alright, if that's what you want. I guess I'll go now.
Yeah. Good night, Cantor.
Night, Rabbi.
No. Stop him. Now. $10,000. Less than 20 minutes ago, I'd accepted defeat. The bank was going to foreclose on the property, and there was nothing I could do. Jack's money changed all that. The B'nai Ben Zion synagogue could remain open. Wouldn't have to see my life's work turn into a shopping mall or a parking lot.
Has God answered my prayers?
The age-old question. What is the work of God and what is the work of man? The money was a boon. There was no doubt about that. But it was blood money, and I couldn't believe God would work that way.
I don't like it. Not one bit. Why, Jack? Why me? Why now?
They say God helps those who help themselves. And I had done absolutely nothing to get this money. I didn't trust it. Suddenly, the cantor's word came back to me.
A Shivah call. I can't just barge in unannounced, but I can pay a Shivah call. It's the only way.
Well, there has to be a way we can make a phone call. There has to be a way that we can... The records are cleared out every few years. If I wanted information about Jack Louder, I'd have to look elsewhere. Well, there is a massive elephant in the room that, we don't know what our login and password is as of yet. And there doesn't appear to be a phone in the room. So... There's the username, rstone@robnet.ny.com. Now, what is the clue to our password is busybody. No. Okay, so we need to... Okay. This is where the dictionary comes in handy. It's a rather obscure puzzle, but it does fit the theme of the... No, I didn't get that right. Yinta, not Yinsha. Means two different things. There we go. Mosh was talking to a psychiatrist. I had a weird dream recently. I saw my mother, but then I noticed she had your face. Found this so worrying that I immediately awoke and couldn't go back to sleep. I just stayed there thinking about that until 7 a.m. Got up, made myself a slice of toast, some coffee, came straight here. Can you help me explain the meaning of my dream? The psychiatrist kept silent for some time and said, "One slice of toast and coffee? You call that a breakfast?" Mazel tov. Welcome to RobNet, New York. Newest way to bring Jews together as a community. Our features are small but growing. Here's a list of what we currently offer. It's just a tutorial on the mail. Hello, Rabbi Stone. I set up your account for you. Hopefully it'll work out okay for you. You can change the password if you want. Most people choose things like their mother's or their wife's maiden name, but I thought this was appropriate. Could be. Dear Rabbi Stone, I have been a loyal member of the B'nai Zion for many years, but I can't bring myself to listen to your dark and gloomy sermons any longer. Times are tough enough for us Jews without you rubbing salt in the wound. Well. And of course a plug from the developer. For the best games and entertainment, visit www.wadjeteye games.com, and I haven't had a complaint with the exception of a couple of them, which I will not get into at this point in time. Rabbi Stone, I'm sorry, but my family and I can't attend your services any longer. Your last few sermons have upset the children so much that it took several hours to calm them down. What happened to you? So, this has been a ongoing thing for Rabbi Stone. Tomo. Tomo is a running gag through the entire Blackwell series. The character itself does not exist. And of course, the electric bill. I've tried to have faith in you, but it's obvious that you are becoming increasingly more unbalanced. You call yourself a Jew? Our people need leaders. Regretfully. And of course, an overdraft notice from the bank as well. So, let's search here for Jack Louder. Get their contact information. Apartment 4E does also make a very inclusive comeback through the game, because I believe that it actually has some significance to do with Dave Gilbert of Wadjeteye Games, the dev and the creator of the series. Jackal Louder of Bet Tikva was found dead last night in his Midtown office, victim of an apparent assault by a person or persons unknown. We at RabNet express our sympathies to Jack's friends and family. Okay. And the contact information for the synagogue. Rabbi Amos Zelig. So that will actually open up a couple of things out of our map. And then we shall proceed on with our day. And investigate this murder. I don't know how we became an officer, but things don't seem right.
Mrs. Lauder?
Yes?
I heard about your husband. I came to pay my respects.
Oh, you knew Jack?
And we will continue this conversation in the next video. Thank you all once again for joining me for the Shivah as the start of a multi-video series of the Blackwell series. We'll be back next week with the next episode of the Shivah. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, in all configurations of being, I will see you in the next video. Later.